Hello and welcome to Markers and Monsters for day 24 of Drawlloween. Oh man, guys, we are in the home stretch, but this week got a bunch of good ones for you. So today's theme is Mechanical Monstrosity. And hey, I gotta say, I was inspired to do this by my buddy Jazzy Jeff, who just recently put out a video from his trading card review series of the Terminator 2 trading cards. So once this came up after watching that, I knew I had to do some Terminator stuff. So if you're not checking out his videos, definitely do. It's some great stuff. I'll throw some links down in the description. So definitely check that out, guys. All right, let's get started here. As you can see, I'm drawing in that great looking Terminator skull right there in the middle, and adding in all like the different pipes and gears and stuff like that. And what I'm going to start out with here is just those red glowing eyes. Now for this Terminator, I kind of decided, you know, metal is on its own a little hard enough, and just to kind of spruce it up a bit, I decided to give it kind of a red-blue scheme going on each side of it. It just gives a nice little bit of color and a nice little bit of life to a drawing that might otherwise just be, you know, kind of all gray for the most part with that metal. Now, Terminator has been one of my favorite franchises since as long as I can remember. I was a kid when Terminator 2 came out, and that was big news, man. And that was back in the days, too, when they sold toys to children based on, like, R-rated movies. Like, all the kids, man, we all had Terminator 2, like, action figures and books and trading cards, as we talked about, all kind of stuff, coloring books, comics. We all really wanted to go and see, you know, Terminator 2. Like, even though it was an R-rated movie, that's what we wanted. So, yeah. Terminator was a big deal. T2 was a big deal. And plus, just to us kids, too, it looks so awesome. You know, you had these great robots. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is, I want to say, one of the finest thespians ever created. Yes, I said created. And, yeah, it's just a good time and good stuff. And there's awesome special effects. That evil T-1000 is so amazing. But yeah, so we all wanted to see this movie, and none of us could because we were all in, you know, elementary school. But once it came out on video, you know, you get to rent it and have a good time with that. And, you know, after that, we'd go back. Terminator 2 was the big one. After that, we'd go back and watch the first Terminator, which actually, as an adult, I really appreciate the first Terminator a lot more than I did as a kid. Just the nuances and the fact that, relevant to this channel, it's for the most part a horror movie, and you know, it's wrapped up in a sci-fi action thing, but the whole premise of this unstoppable killer robot coming to kill you, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. You know, it can't be reasoned with, it can't be bargained with, it will not stop. Like, that's pretty horrific if you really think about it. So that's one thing I love about a lot of sci-fi from the kind of late 70s and 80s is a lot of it's like horrific in guise as action movies. The Aliens movies are another great example of that. Predator, same kind of stuff. Very horrific premises, but yeah, just because it's like an action movie, you don't think how horrific or terrifying it's going to be. But anyway, looks like the inks are coming along. The colors worked out well. You can see now what I mean with that red and blue. And I know I've seen people do that before for all kind of different lighting effects. You know, I've seen other things do that red blue. It's just a scheme that works really well, and it's very eye-catching. And like I said, with, you know, sometimes with metallics and stuff, to show it really being metal, you want to get that nice reflective picking up colors. So this kind of gives the impression that there's more going on than just, you know, the Terminator skull. Like, there's lights off to either side, and maybe it's during a battle, you know, it's grinning at you or something like that. And I think that kind of helps with the artwork as well. Another thing that's fun to draw with the Terminator here and all that is, like, there's tons of these little they call them like greebles, or at least they do in the Lego building community, but these little like odds and ends and doohickeys and pipes and tubes and nuts and bolts and things that just give it that like techno look to it. Now, the Terminator look is absolutely iconic, so that's another reason this was just a blast to do. The special effects in the movie, the look of the Terminator, the exoskeleton, the design is just absolutely immediately recognizable, and for a good reason. It's incredible. And those designers that worked on that, like, the whole team in that, bang up job on all these movies. The special effects are absolutely incredible, and the look and the design is just really cool. And these things, even if we couldn't see the movie when we were kids, these things definitely inspired me to go and do stuff. Now, some finishing touches here with a couple lines. What I'm going to do next is get that white paint pen I always use and just kind of put a little extra in the eyes here and smear them around with my finger just to spread them out. A couple little highlights here and there. Let's get it signed up and take a look at the scan. And yeah, that is looking pretty badass, I gotta say. So awesome. Hey, thanks guys for hanging out with me today and checking out to let me rant about Terminator here for 5 minutes. Yeah, if you haven't seen Terminator, go out and watch it. Terminator 1 and 2, absolutely great. And I even like the new Genesis movie that was out a year or two ago. It's actually pretty great in terms of just entertainment and whatnot. So yeah, you know what? Hell, check that one out too while you're at it. It might be your cup of tea. But yeah, it's my recommendation. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. And like I said earlier in the video, be sure to check out Jazzy Jeff's stuff. I'll throw some links in the description for you. All right, we'll see you tomorrow on Markers and Monsters.